On October 27th, the Clinton Middle School kicked off their first of what they hope is an annual STEAM fair. STEAM is an acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade class were brought to the cafeteria to take part in the presentation.
I first heard about the STEAM fair and the STEAM for Girls when they hired me. They already had a STEM program and they needed the art, the A in STEAM, and so they were looking for an art teacher to both be at the middle school and teach all the grades and to be involved in the STEAM fair and the STEAM after school programs. So I am the A in STEAM.
I am a committee member for the STEAM program, or the STEAM Science Fair at Clinton Middle School. I am a support for students. I am a decision maker in anything that we decide to do for the program. And I am also one of the lead mentors in our STEAM for Girls program, which will encourage our girls to participate and enter their projects, as well as volunteer during the STEAM fair.
I believe the program will continue in the future because of the people that are involved with it are very passionate about the STEAM fair, and it was very important for us to put together something that had long-term staying power. And ultimately what will determine that will be the students' participation in the program and their excitement that comes along with it.
It was an idea that was put forward by the science department at the middle school, a couple of teachers and Mrs. Sargent, and they had approached me about helping out with it. I thought it was a great idea, and then we got into the STEM, instead of just a science fair, we did a STEM fair, and then that turned into what they call a STEAM fair, which is the A is for the art. That's why we had a lot of art exhibits out there. So that's how it started, and then we met every couple weeks and got students involved, and I was really happy with the results, and I thought it was a good event. Absolutely. I think there might have been a little bit of reluctance this year because I don't think the students, we hadn't done it before, so they didn't really know what to do. But now that a lot of the students have seen some of the presentations that were here, hopefully some of them will see this video that we're putting together, so they'll be able to gauge what the bar is, what's expected of them, and I think that we'll have more presenters next year at the STEAM fair. Everybody did a great job, and the scores were so close. It's almost one of those things where you didn't want to give a prize out, but I think it's. I think it's good that we did. Maybe in the coming years we'll think of some alternative, like most original or something like that. We're always learning. We learned a lot, so next year will be a little bit better.
So this is a magnetic liquid known as ferrofluid, and it responds to a magnetic field as any other normal magnet would. There's like a fluid here, like a liquid, and if I put a magnet near it, it responds to the magnetic field, so it moves near it, and it like follows it, and then when I let go, it just turns into a regular magnet again. And the further I take it, the more it runs out, because it's also used for like drawing. So then I can just like let go, and then I can make a new one again. And it makes a spherical shape, if you can even see that, because like it compacts so many nanoparticles with iron that it just has to build up in like a hill shape or a spherical shape form, because that's like how most things are compacted. And if you put it in water, it like doesn't mix with the water, so you can just like put it in, it'll move with the water, and it'll float back to the top. Like this. Yeah, that should be good right there.
Invisible Ink by Haley Bias, Nicole Nicole Mullaney, and Deborah Ortiz. Next slide, Nicole. What is invisible ink, you may ask? Invisible ink is a special ink or chemical that cannot be seen unless you activate it. Many people use this and is still used today. You can find invisible ink in any diary kits and in spy movies. Uses of invisible ink. You can use invisible ink to write secret messages. For example, George Washington used this to secretly message his army without people even knowing it. You can use this to mark items in case someone tries to steal. For example, you can always use it to mark a ticket, so that way you know it's your number and no one can steal it from you. Next one, Nicole. Oh wait, yeah, next one. Next one. Oh, you can print information with the ink onto business forms. Do's and don'ts. Please keep your goggles on all times. Follow procedures step by step. Stand back from the table. The last thing we need is for something to spill on you and ruin your clothes. Safety always comes first. Don'ts. Don't touch the table. Don't eat or drink items on the table. Don't directly smell. If you'd like to smell it, take a whiff of it like this. Don't touch anything without permission. Don't ever pour anything into your eyes, especially if you're not wearing goggles. Ingredients. Fresh or lemons or concentrated lemon juice, not lemonade. Small bowl. Small detailed paintbrush with fine bristles. A light bulb, sunlight, or other heat source like example, a heater. A white piece of paper, a cutting knife and cutting board if necessary. Getting ready. Prepare your desktop by placing everything in a neat order. Then make sure you have all your tools in place in the places they need to be. Your desk should be neat and organized so you don't look unprofessional. Then make sure you put on your goggles and gloves to protect yourself from the chemical's dangerous toxins. Instructions. If using concentrated lemon juice, not lemonade, then pour into the small bowl. If not, then cut lemons in half and squeeze juice into a bowl. Draw or write something on your white piece of paper with the special ink. Then wait several minutes to let it dry. Once dry, allow the heat of some sort to hit the paper and reveal the hidden message or picture. Just a tip, this may take a little while. As you know, it may take 10 to 20 minutes in order for the message to really show itself. After a short time of being exposed to the heat, the picture or message begins to darken as the ink slowly turns into a pale brown, revealing your message or artwork. We got our information from Science Fair Adventure, wikihow.com, kidsworld.com, Scientific American, and explorable.com. We would like to thank our mentor Salome, Miss McCunis, Miss Sargent, and our very own editor, Deborah Ortiz. Nicole, next one please. We hope you enjoy and we hope you learned a valuable lesson. Thank you for enjoying our presentation.
Right here, I talk about bridges and the strength of the angles that they have. So, on the beam bridge, I wanted to start with this project because I was vacationing in Brazil once, and there was a traffic jam, and we were stuck on a bridge, which was a beam bridge. And I was wondering how the incredible load of the cars could stay on the bridge without it collapsing. So as I started to think about it and research it more, I found that the weight is distributed through the piers and the abutments, which the abutment is the two end ones and the piers are the middle supports. And it's just a horizontal, this one you can see, it's just a horizontal beam with the supports. And then the weight, once the top surface is compressed and the bottom edges are put under tension, the weight can go through the reinforcements basically, without collapsing. So the key components of bridges are the beams, arches, trusses, and suspensions. I focus on the beams and the trusses more. So truss bridges were originally built of wood, iron, or steel, or a combination of the materials. Their truss bridges are characterized by the joining of numerous relatively small structural members into a series of interconnected triangles, which, because the triangle is a 45-degree, or utilizes 45-degree angles, which I talk about here, they're the strongest because the triangle is the strongest shape, since the angles are connected and fixed to a point, which is different from other polygons, even though they have also angles fixed to one point. The difference is that the angles of the triangle are not subject to change, so the weight can be evenly distributed and the load larger. A truss bridge can be characterized by the location of its traffic deck. So a pony truss has the traffic deck on the bottom chords of the trusses, and they're not attached at the top, but a through truss has the surface is also on the bottom chords, but it's connected by cross brackets, so there would be an X here, and again you can see the triangles. Okay, so.
That's very cool, man.
Thanks.
I never really thought of that while looking at a bridge. That's awesome.
I could do a live demonstration of the books on the bridge.
You wanna go?
Sure. Okay, so.
How do you do it?
Well, just put it on top. I don't have more books because of the sake of inventory,
Yeah.
but the 45-degree angles help distribute the weight into the table.
Holy cow. You're gonna be a master bridge builder.
Wow. Well, thank you for, looking at my presentation and listening to it.
Holy cow, you're awesome, dude. Do you have Mr. Carpuck right now?
No, I'm in 7th grade.
So, and you didn't have to teach you any of this?
No, I just, well, I know a little bit of it from WPI, but also I did research on my own on the different types of bridges.
Holy cow, I was in 8th grade in Mr. Carpuck's class a couple years ago. I did not get any of it.
Really?
You're a genius, man.
I think so.
Ooh.
Do you want the mic back?
What's your project about?
Oh, okay. So we did our project on sugar. We specifically, how much sugar do people eat compared to what they're supposed to eat? We found that people on average eat about 72 grams of sugar a day, which is 3 times as much sugar as they are supposed to eat, which is 25 grams for girls and 30 grams for boys.
Yeah, so we actually tracked the amount of sugar that we ate on this castle, and it was for 4 people. One of our girls isn't here today. And it was 3,556 grams of sugar for 4 people in a week. Yeah.
So, we also found that sugar has the same effect on your brain as cocaine does. And
Yeah,
so we also found that most of the sugar we eat is from things that we would think would be healthy, like fruit juice, but also things like Coke that people know have a lot of sugar but eat anyways.
yeah. So the fruit juice has about 34 grams of sugar, which is a lot. And that's about having 8 Jolly Ranchers when you have a couple of fruit juice.
And a Coke has 56 grams of sugar in it, which is like eating 2 cupcakes.
And then when you have a carton of milk like from the cafeteria, that's like eating 2 airheads.
So, in conclusion, you can't really avoid sugar, but you just need to know that, like, there's a good sugar and bad sugar, and it depends on how much you eat that means if it's healthy or not healthy. Okay, we're done.
We made electric circuits from Play-Doh. So here we have them listed on voltage. White is the highest and blue is the lowest. And so it lights up because of how how salty it is and the dyes. And we found out that Play-Doh's a conductor, and if you have two conductors touching, it creates a short circuit, but we didn't have any problems with short circuits. Okay, what else?
What else is it? The closer they are,
The closer the alligator clips are, the brighter the bulb will be, but the farther away they are, the duller it will be.
When you send a message, it decodes it into binary, in which then the computer just sends it to the other computer while telling the computer when to read it. So like, let's say it wants to turn a 1, we'll send a 1. It sets the clock wire to 1, and then turns on the clock wire to let the other computer know that it's time to read the byte of data, and then the other computer reads it, and then it just repeats until the end of the message, and then the other computer decodes it, and you get your message. So it's kind of like how normal networking works, except you can have it transmit on more wires, which makes it a lot faster. You could have it transmit on 1 wire, you could have it transmit on 100 wires. That's what I think makes it better. So like if you like send a message here, like, so Dr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Now I've slowed it down so I can kind of explain what it's doing while it's sending it. So basically this wire here is the data wire, and it's just turning that on and off while turning the clock wire on and off. And the other computer is saying, okay, I am reading these bits and putting them into a variable, and that's just getting bigger and bigger. And then once it finishes sending it, then it will decode it into normal text, which will then show up here. Dr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Perfectly timed. So, basically it may seem simple, but, like say you're going to a web page, that's just your computer talking to another server. So say, like if this was connected to the internet, then I can send google.com over to the other computer so it could search something, and that's how surfing the internet pretty much works. And I've a kind of reverse engineered networking.
That sounds very complicated.
Yeah.
You kids are smarter than me. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
It helps if you know programming, if you think of wires as variables. So, and then you tell the other computer when to read the variable, and it's almost done here. It's sent. This is the quick message, 2.6 seconds. And then Alex, see. Okay. So basically, it's kind of like texting, except these wires could be an inch long, they could be a mile long, or it could be wireless. So it's actually, when you think of it, it's a complicated concept, but what it does is
Okay, so this is our electric generator. Steph, would you like to start?
It will create energy by spinning the nail, then the light bulb will turn on.
The materials you would need for this procedure is magnets, wire, cardboard, light bulb, and a nail. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the, what do you do? You cut the cardboard into a square 4 times horizontally, then cut the top and bend it a 3D rectangle. Then make the width big enough for the magnets to fit in. Then make a hole exactly in the center of the cardboard and put the nail through. And then enlarge the hole so it can easily spin. Put 2 magnets on each side on the nail. Wrap a spool of wire 200 times around the box, about 2 inches of wire, and take off the plastic coating. Take the light bulb and the wire and twist it together. Go.
What do you think will happen? I think the light on the end of the wire will be turned on by spinning the nail.
Now this is our paragraph. This is our essay. Oh, this is Felix and Steph. We are going to be showing you how an electric generator. We happen to have the same interest in technology.
It needs to be charged. The battery is charged with a precise float voltage. If it's too high, it will shorten the battery. Life is too short. If it's too short, it will remain uncharged. The DC output is 2.33 volts per cell. Control panel starts and turns the generator. Show all oil pressure, temperature, and battery volts as has manual mode and auto mode. Main assembly frame is what all generators have customized frames for support and to be safe for the earth.
I got all my information on Google, how to make a generator, and the idea from YouTube, and I got the information for the essay on diesel service and supply.com, and I got the other information from ETF or FU? Yeah, like fu.org/generator. Thank you.
Now you're gonna see if it works? Yeah. You can feel the electrical current running through it.
No, you have to like spin it wicked fast. So.